Do you guys remember what I said last year in my Caudabe review? The buttons are a step backwards in my opinion. Here, the texture is present everywhere, even at the bottom. Now, as always, these case brands always change or upgrade certain aspects each year, so if you're watching this a year from now, be sure to check out my updated video. Yeah, I did say that. And for those that have watched my top 5 already, you know I absolutely love the Sheath now. But what about the rest? Now we'll skip over the Veil, but they've introduced a new one called the Paragon. So why not start there? The Paragon fits in very well with their other cases. The Sheath has the most apparent texture. Then it's a little less on the Synthesis and now even less so on the Paragon. But you can still feel it's a Caudabe case for sure. And I think the sides are more than enough as far as the grippiness goes. Now, instead of a textured backplate, they went for a smooth plastic in bold coloring. And don't get me wrong, I love bold colors. I just hoped that that orange, or amber as they call it, was a little different. Something like this. And yes, I totally made that myself. And I think it looks awesome. What do you guys think? Would you buy that? Comment I do if you really want this to be a reality. I think the color amber is a little too much. I also dislike the color difference towards the sides, so I would totally do dark gray sides. I also embedded the unfiltered design into the suede-like inner, and you would get to choose between orange metallic buttons or black metallic buttons. I had too much fun designing that. The sea glass color is still very specific, but even though specific, it's still a good looking color. But my absolute favorite is the moonstone. It just looks awesome. Now, this is all very subjective, of course, because I'm sure there's people out there that love the amber color as well, but it's just not for me. Now, something they did right on every color is those metallic buttons. They look amazing. They are also very clicky and tactile. So it's as awesome as the rest of their lineup, as all cases from Caudabe now have that. The fit is also very good. A tighter fit like you're used to with Caudabe, but adjusted to perfection, so that it's still very easy to get off the phone too, without sacrificing that snug fit we love. I love that texture on the sides as well, just adds that little bit of extra grip, which in combination with that smooth backplate is just the perfect amount of grip. A good looking camera bump too, which is a strong plastic ring around the set of lenses. And as far as the camera control goes, they went for the pale top cutout too. Now I have taken measurements and the cutout is exactly the same as on the Sheath or Synthesis. The front protection is subtle and swells up towards the top and bottom, which is great for swiping across the middle of your screen. That soft suede-like inner is here too, which is still awesome. And as far as the strength of the case goes, it does not underperform in comparison with the Synthesis. Now on the Synthesis, they don't feature that soft suede-like inner though, and you can feel the edges of the MagSafe ring a little. Not sharp at all, but I would prefer they smoothen these out, just like Gear 4 Zag did with theirs, with those sloped edges. Now last year the Synthesis still had that texture at the bottom too, but this year they got rid of that, just like they did on the Sheath, which is just great to see. I would still prefer they remove it altogether on the bottom though, as they still have a little edge over it, probably for aesthetic reasons. Very clicky buttons here too. And the same camera control cutout as on the Sheath, which is perfectly usable and smooth. Camera bump is that same as the Paragon too, but they added this unique design next to it, which makes the Synthesis stand out. They have very good front screen protection as well, and it's equally across the whole screen. No sharp feeling edges, everything is smoothed out. One issue I came across myself is the fact that the backplate was showing scratches a little too easily. You would see all types of shiny marks all over it. Now they seem to have fixed that, as their newest version has a totally different finish on the backplate. As you can see, the new one is much shinier. Not only does it look better, but because of it you won't see the scratches at all. This is just great. A simple solution and the issue is 100% fixed. I even prefer this look over the other now. Funny enough, that little piece next to the camera bump is still easily scratched though, so they might want to tweak that material a little bit as well. But since that bit is lowered into the backplate, it doesn't really come in contact with anything, so I don't think it will be much of an issue. Still, awesome looking case, very good fit too, and the overall aesthetic is just on point. Then of course they also have the Sheath. Compared to the Synthesis or the new Paragon, this one is a little softer of a case, as you can sort of pinch it in. I think the texture is the best here as far as the grippiness goes, but of course they also removed it at the bottom, so it's very comfortable as well. Very subtle difference in the camera bump height, but you would probably not even notice. Compared to the other two camera bumps, this camera bump is textured as well, which looks very unique. The buttons are still very clicky, which is just amazing, and the camera control button is still very comfortable. And even though it features a flexible connection piece, it's not weaker at the nearest corner at all. It survived the slap test with honors. And that's for all their cases. They all pretty much feature that same connection piece with the same strong fit. An equal front protection lip here too, so no swelling at the top or bottom. And I think the buttons look amazing as well. Very premium feeling. No sharp edges or bits anywhere, easy to install, easy to get off the phone, and as we've seen with my last drop test video, if you drop this case, you won't even see damages or marks anywhere. It's therefore a very durable case as well. It's in my top 5 and that's not without reason. Now, if you aren't done watching case videos, make sure you either watch this one here or maybe this one. Since I've basically seen every brand there is, there's always one more video to watch.